Supply chain leaders manage a compounding logistical problem: the simultaneous oversight of highly specialized warehouse topologies across a global network. Operating at peak capacity, a modern pharmaceutical facility processes thousands of physical movements an hour. Pallets arrive, inventory is relocated, and orders are staged. This volume flows through vastly different environments. A single corporation must maintain raw material storage, strict temperature-controlled zones for biologics, and high-speed cross-dock facilities for immediate transfers. Legacy operations handle this complexity by relying on personnel memory and manual paper logs. When human operators function as the primary database, inventory reconciliation slows and the risk of critical compliance errors rises. To maintain exact control over these environments, organizations implement a warehouse management system, or WMS. This is a dedicated software solution built to manage every physical action inside the facility. The software replaces human guesswork with system-directed logic. It calculates allocation policies, provides exact location suggestions, and dictates guided putaway workflows for operators on the floor. The system operates as the active digital backbone of the facility. It ensures every material movement is explicitly recorded, mathematically verified, and compliant with global standards. The operational lifecycle of a pharmaceutical material begins the moment it arrives at the receiving dock and requires a digital identity. During receiving and inspection, the system cross-references incoming materials against supplier records, automatically assigning exact batch numbers. Next is putaway management. The software uses spatial tracking to map the facility layout, guiding operators along the most efficient route to specific designated storage coordinates. Once stored, internal inventory control logic takes over. The system monitors stock levels and precise storage conditions in real time. To maintain data accuracy, the WMS schedules cycle counts, systematically verifying stock row by row. When an order is placed, the system identifies the correct batches and calculates optimized order picking routes. Finally, dispatch logic finalizes shipping documents and subtracts the materials from the active database as the product leaves. These specialized internal workflows must eventually communicate with the broader corporate infrastructure. The WMS syncs directly with enterprise resource platforms like SAP or Oracle, ensuring a global data flow across the entire supply chain. By linking these functions, the software turns isolated warehouse tasks into a continuous, optimized operational loop. Pharmaceutical logistics are governed by Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMP. In this industry, a warehouse error directly compromises patient safety. To enforce these rules on the floor, barcode and RFID scanning hardware act as the bridge linking physical pallets to their digital records. This hardware enables strict batch and lot tracking, providing an unbroken chain of custody from the raw material supplier to the end patient. For sensitive biologics, the WMS integrates with physical sensors to provide continuous temperature and humidity monitoring, proving the materials remained viable. To secure these records, the system utilizes role-based access control. Only authorized personnel with specific credentials can manipulate sensitive stock or approve workflows. Under 21 CFR Part 11, the FDA enforces strict rules for digital record keeping. The software must maintain secure, unalterable digital audit trails of every transaction. To meet this mandate, operators use electronic signatures, legally binding their identity to specific approvals and inventory adjustments. The software constantly evaluates incoming data to issue automated alerts. It flags environmental deviations, approaching product expiration, or stock shortages before they affect production. These specialized components establish the WMS as a legally binding compliance instrument, capable of passing direct regulatory scrutiny. Organizations choose from the 4 distinct deployment architectures mapped in this diagram. A standalone WMS controls an isolated facility. In contrast, an integrated WMS functions as a node within a larger global ERP supply chain network. Cloud-based models host the software remotely. This allows the system to scale across multiple global sites simultaneously. A customized pharma WMS is engineered from the ground up for the specific validation and batch traceability requirements of the pharmaceutical industry. Regardless of the architecture, these systems eradicate manual stock handling errors. Automated documentation ensures regulatory compliance, allowing the facility to satisfy FDA and WHO audits with verified electronic records. Executives gain real-time visibility into inventory, while warehouse operators fulfill complex orders in significantly less time than manual systems allow. Selecting the correct digital architecture allows an enterprise to scale its operational volume while maintaining perfect data integrity. Digital reliance creates a specific vulnerability. If the system fails or if data is corrupted, the physical supply chain halts. The pharmaceutical industry addresses this risk through mandatory software validation. A system cannot be used for commercial products until it proves its reliability. Validation teams follow GAMP-5 guidelines. This framework systematically tests the software against predefined specifications to prove it performs as intended. Organizations must also install redundant data backup and disaster recovery infrastructures to prevent data loss in the event of hardware failure. The system's security also depends on the human element. Staff require continuous training on standard operating procedures and the proper handling of electronic records. Administrators run routine security audits on access logs and utilize change controls to detect and prevent unauthorized tampering. A digital backbone is only as resilient as the disaster recovery protocols and validation testing that support it. To see these systems in practice, we can trace a material's journey from start to finish. When raw materials arrive, the software immediately generates a goods receipt note and assigns a unique trackable batch number to the shipment. The system evaluates the material's profile and directs the operator to store it strictly within a designated temperature-controlled zone. During dispatch, the WMS locks unapproved or expired stock, preventing access. This level of control results in a zero-error product dispatch. Because the software enforced these rules, only quality-released batches reach the patient, maintaining a flawless audit trail for regulators. A WMS establishes a smart, mathematically governed infrastructure where manual storage once relied on human memory. By guaranteeing accuracy, operational efficiency, and regulatory compliance, the WMS defines the standard for modern pharmaceutical logistics. To explore specific training modules on these compliance frameworks, check the link in the description.